It is Msy.Chrissy here, and of course, I also have the one and only Scratch Master.
Good morning.
What's going on? You good?
We good, and we have two special guests inside here. Big up to Tamantha Chole, big up to Xpert. What's going on?
Good morning, man. Good morning.
We good. I'm good. Morning.
Xpert quiet. Xpert,
good morning.
Good morning. Let me know. Tell them.
But it is play tune that is playing in the morning though.
All of that.
New morning and on the Power Morning Show. Now, of course, you know, Tamantha Chole has brought us songs like La Vida Loca and In We Blood. And Xpert is the guy behind songs like Unbothered from Slatter and one of Boise's recent songs, Anya. So welcome officially to the Morning Trend. And how are y'all doing in this weird time?
Trying to keep up, man. I'm trying to keep up, but getting to me recently, man. Recently, like I've just been feeling like I don't even know what's going on, you know.
Is it affecting your creativity?
To be honest, I've been working more since, like music wise, but apart from that, just like the normal life, yeah.
Right. And Tamantha,
it has definitely been affected my creativity. Like my imagination is just like flopped a little bit.
Right.
But I also feel like it's a gift because I'm able to recalibrate a little bit from the inside, you know, and figure out. It just gave me more time to figure some things out. But I feel like confused most of the time.
Right. I suppose you miss being on stage as well.
Hell yes. I miss being on stage. I miss just being able to record music because I don't have the tools right now at home to do that. So, and I mean, like I said, writing is not going to be the easiest thing with my mind being so blocked. But yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Now, Xpert, you obviously have a studio at your disposal. So have you been recording any music or, you know, working on any songs recently?
Well, recently I dropped an album that was last Friday called Cold Blue. How I did it was, well, before that I was working on something else, but with all that going on, kind of put that to the side. And then I said, let me focus on something new. So I reached out to artists and know that have like a home setup, and then we got the tracks done. So it was like 10 songs, different artists.
Yes. Xpert? Yeah. We heard it.
Well, congratulations on dropping a whole album. I think that's amazing. You know, especially during this time. How has it been with how people are receiving the album Cold Blue so far?
People like the vibe. It's something different, you know, not the usual jump ups, more calm sounding type of music, you know. It's a little bit of crossover with the dancehall and soca. Yeah, it's just a different vibe from the Grenadian.
Was it purposeful to not do the typical jump up type of music?
Yeah, well, I always try to switch it up, you know, because like I figure like soca need more diversity, you know, it needs to be more diverse. So every now and then I try to like bring a different style to the table. Yeah.
Tell me something. How did La Vida Loca come about? Because I know you produced that together with Tamantha Chole. We just played it in the background.
Yeah, well, honestly, that one was produced by my brother.
Do you even know how it came about yourself?
No,
not you, Xpert.
Well, I know he had the beat for a while. Like he was sitting on the beat for a while. Initially, it was supposed to be like a calypso type of beat, for calypso song. But then he was like, you know what, Tommy, so versatile. Let me send the beat her way and see what she do with it. And then when she sent back the vocals, it was like, wow, this crazy, this different. Yeah, so I was actually surprised. I mean, I know Tommy bad like that, but like when I hear the track, it just sound like something different, you know, just a calypso beat, but it's like real different with the vibe.
That's amazing. And how was it for you, Tommy? Because this is obviously that different sound. How was it after you heard the beat and that feeling, and what happened after?
I mean, it was really casual when the beat was presented to me. So I was like, okay, it sounds cool. I like the Spanish element. And for me, because like my plans was, to really reach out on like not just a local platform, but like also regional. I felt like the Spanish Latin vibe was really cool. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to definitely jump on it. It took a while for me to actually bring it back to them, but I just kind of vibed to it. They pushed me a lot, and I think I needed that. So they pushed me a lot, and I kind of just spent time vibe with it, and that's what came out.
Talking about vibe, when you're on stage, Tamantha, it's like you're a totally different person. What happens when you hit a stage versus like how we're speaking with you now? Because I mean, I've seen you perform numerous times.
I feel like I let myself go a lot more, and I believe in like the universe, this vibe, right? So a lot of the times either like you prepare yourself and you can practice as much as you want, and then from the time you reach the stage, now you're able to let go, because like practice meets like just just having an open-minded situation. So I kind of just embrace whatever I feel mixed together with what I rehearsed.
Right.
And I like being on a big stage because like I like to prance around, and I just like to be free. So I feel like it's home for me. It's where I can really just express myself and do whatever I want without, judgment. So I take advantage of that situation.
Understood.
That's amazing. And it really is good to make sure you conquer the stage and not just be good in studio. And I think you have definitely done a great job with that.
I feel like with the studio, people think it's easier to do studio work because I've been a live performer since 2013, right? I've been live. And now like transitioning into a music artist started in 2015 when I, created my own EP and stuff. But like studio work is to me a little bit more challenging because then you have to bring this energy that you would, when you're doing live and everybody is there, you kind of feed off of that. Like when you're in the studio, you really have to bring a different, not a different, but you just have to bring more energy, and sometimes it's not always there.
Well,
I'm like,
yeah, go ahead.
I've just been learning to be more aware of that situation, especially this year, because I mean earlier this year I started to like create some music already. So I mean, it's that situation where you realize you're not just singing for yourself in this situation. You really have to like push yourself a little more and to really have that vibe.
And Xpert, you would obviously have to create that vibe for a lot of artists, including yourself in the studio. How is it channeling that energy that Tammy was just talking about?
It's like a zone. Like you just have to build a vibe. Sometimes it's different methods of doing it. Like I mean, some artists might take a little shot, you know what I mean? But, like, different for everybody, you know?
Ah, boy.
Right. I know, right? Indeed. Now, I think one of the best.
I would agree. Taking a shot does really help.
It helps. Now, one of the best things I think to look at on YouTube is those palm tree corner videos. Take win on those videos. I know that you're behind it, Xpert. Explain to me how y'all even figured out coming up with this thing where one person is in a tree shaking a shack and your instrument, you have it in the water. It's such a genius idea. How did that come about?
Well, it came about firstly, the first one we did was with Mr. Golden, and initially it was just to do it for him, but like when we did it, the initial plan wasn't to do everything live, but then my brother was like, you know what? Let me do everything live. It make more sense, you get a better feel. So from that one, that everything in that one wasn't recorded live. But after that, we started recording everything on set. And then mostly everybody from the same village. And like we good with one another. So like the craziness is just we being natural. So when you see the man in the tree, that is just how he is in general, you know, and all this kind of vibe. Yeah.
Right. And Tammy, you did one of these as well, right?
Yeah, I did. That was spontaneous too.
And how was that experience for you? Were you the one on the beach?
Yeah. What happened? We talked about it, and I just had randomly jumped on the boat, literally randomly with Jefferson and them. They were doing, I think, the Maroon Festival, and I never been, so I woke up and I just went. And while I was over there, I messaged his brother, Xpert's brother, and I was like, I'm here, let's do something. And they kind of had to pull everything together really fast. Like, I don't think they even got time to rehearse, like, how to do the song. I just kind of was like, let's do it. I'm here. Let's make it happen. And they made it happen. And I'm like, okay. So, like, we went on the beach. They set up something, I think. And then they were playing, trying to figure out, okay, is this how we're going to do it? I'm assuming that's what happened. Because I don't think they actually got chance to actually practice a way to do the song. And so they just went with it, and I just started singing, and then we're like, okay.
Xpert.
Yeah.
Tell me something. Is there anything that you've produced that surprised you in a positive way? Like, you know, you didn't think that would have reached where it reached, or you probably thought something would have been bigger than how it was?
Yeah, plenty time. One of the songs was In the Morning with Platter and Lava Man. Even the black song, the Galona. Galona was a surprise to me.
Right.
Yeah, coming up from Galona now. The beat for Galona, that was the first beat I made after taking like a rest from making music. And I just had the beat sitting down for a while.
Right.
After a while I decided to send it to Vaughn. Then Vaughn sent back at them. I was like, yo, this bad. A couple days after, Vaughn was like, yo, I send the thing for Blacks, and Blacks like it, Blacks want it.
Right.
I know in the music thing though, you know, you can't get too excited until you have the song in hand. So I was
that
like,
is true. Artists promise all the time. I said vocals, I record it, and you ain't getting nothing in your mail.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, yeah, you want it. So I think it was like a couple of weeks later, he had a show in Caracas. So like I linked him, and he was like, when he go back, he go voice it. I think at least like a month or two pass after, and then he finally voiced it. It was initially released for Crap Over, but the song didn't end up blowing up until probably like 4 months after.
Wow. Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, so
that's a long time. You know? Yeah, that's amazing. It is definitely amazing to see the time and the patience after you put in so much work, and it's probably a baby. You have to wait sometimes 6 months to reap the full benefits of a project.
But you know, sometimes the funny thing is that putting in a lot of work in a song doesn't guarantee it being a hit.
Exactly.
You know, there are some artists that I like to call do a thing and get through. And you know, they ain't put any effort. It's like, man, I just go and record that whatever thing. You know, so I totally get where that's coming from. But tell me something with regards to Carnival in Grenada. If we have a Carnival in Grenada, August month kind of thing, are you going to be putting out any music? Have artists recorded anything with you that you're going to release, or are you going to hold back whatever releases you would have had for this year, depending on what they decide?
Honestly, I might put out a couple of songs, but I was actually working on something right before everything started to get out of hand, but then
your computer ain't working?
I'll hold back that one day. So anything, I might just come up with something new again. To put out for Spice Bass.
Right.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Good stuff. And Tammy, what about you? Are you putting out any new music in the coming months? We have 4 months till August.
Yeah, well, I mean, the plan was even to work with Xpert and them. I still have music that I need to write for with beats that was sent from me. And then there's stuff that I worked on, like February, I started working on some new music, and so there's stuff in the vault that has to be finished, and it's sort of like a mixed thing too. It's not all soca. It's a kind of soca dancehall mix, and it's really just different. And so also this year I was supposed to be on the road with Allure, which is a mass band. So I was also working on music for them, and we created this really just amazing song with some Vinci and Trinidadian producers.
Right.
So that was gonna be very, very interesting, and I was really excited for that. And then now we just kind of pull back everything, but they pull back that stuff for next year. But I'm hoping that I get to release something before August, and even after that, like.
Okay.
Yeah. So with all of this going on, and with both of you being almost solely relying on the entertainment industry, are you going to do things different to prepare yourself for any possible pandemics in the future?
Definitely.
Tough question.
I always try to do things different in general. So I mean, it's like something I will actually look into ways that, like probably putting out more music that might be appealing to this crowd. So like the stream numbers could be like a bigger number and all this kind of thing. Like at least something along that line, and maybe other little things too.
Okay. And what about you, Tammy?
I don't know. I might just be a stripper or something.
Wow. Wow. It is 8:40 in the morning. Who may be listening?
Or a comedian, anything, something.
95. Just letting you know. You know what I mean? Just letting you know. What is the vibe in Carriacou right now, Xpert?
Carriacou just quiet, man. In general, Carriacou is a quiet place on the whole.
It's a quiet place in general, right?
Yeah, so like no, it's even more quiet, like I even know the last day I've been outside too, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you're staying safe.
Yeah, man, staying safe, man.
Staying safe.
That's good. And what do you guys have planned? I mean, you've now released you recently released one with Boise, a Palm Tree Corner with Boise, done virtually.
Right.
Are you going to be doing any more virtual things in the future?
It's a thought. Yeah, it's a thought. Definitely a thought. So we probably might have a couple more of those coming.
Yeah. And what about you, Tammy? Will we see a live concert or so?
I've not been like totally driven to do virtual stuff. Like my drive hasn't been there. I'm kind of like, okay, everybody's doing it, so I'm gonna just sit back and watch because I'm really not feeling it. But another artist is gonna be hosting something come next month that I'm probably gonna be the first artist on it. So yeah, I'm very interested in being part of things, but I'm not like gonna probably go and start a concert and do all of that extra stuff right now. Guys, it's all about recalibrating for me and figuring out writing a lot more and send me some beats, Xpert, that kind of vibe.
I know little Natty's in the comments saying I need some beats.
I have a question for you all, both of you all. We've asked almost every artist here locally. With Spice Mass being up in the air, a decision hasn't been made. What's your stance on that? With regards to Carnival happening or not happening?
I would quicker say put it off. I mean, it's like you cannot late already anyway, so it's like, a lot of
late for what?
Late for what? In April, bro.
You mean late in terms of music? Late in what way?
Well, I mean, like promoting wise, like certain events, like maybe even some of the bands pull out all these kind of things is like, the quality.
I would say on a corporate level.
Go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, I would say on like a corporate level, it doesn't make sense. But I mean, Grenadians are always up for playing mass, so it doesn't even have to be perfect. They're kind of like, let's do it. It doesn't matter. And And for me, I don't really indulge per se in carnival, so it doesn't bother me. But I really would miss the atmosphere that it creates, and people being able to come in. That's not gonna happen, So the vibe is gonna be off if it has nothing. Something can happen, maybe. I don't know where the COVID-19, how the spread is gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen, but like I said, clearly nothing's stopping people from playing mass. So.
Right.
Indeed. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us here on The Morning Trend. That was Tamantha Chole and Xpert all the way from Carriacou. Thanks so much, y'all.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. And of course, you can check them out on social media as well. And that was your Morning Trend. Came to you compliments Rick's Cafe.